Hello. Hey, friend, welcome back. This is episode 2 of the RoseGlassKnits podcast. My name is Laurel, and I promised not to bore you guys with long intros, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of jump in. With what I'm wearing today, I'm not actually wearing anything knit because it's been a little bit toasty, but we're still representing some knitting. Forgive my microphone. I'm trying to make sure you guys can hear me. My last video was a little quiet, so we have a mic today. But today I am wearing a t-shirt from Nerdbird Makery. It's the Nevertheless She Knitted t-shirt. And I just absolutely love this shirt. I have a few of her like knitty, crafty t-shirts, and I love them. They're super cute, and I think they're a really fun way to kind of rep your knitting prowess without necessarily having to put wool on your body, which sometimes it's just too hot, you know? But yeah, so I really enjoy her stuff. I'm sure you will see me wear more of her shirts in the future. And she also offers a lot of different items in her design. So, like, if you want something with long sleeves, if you want a regular crew neck, if you want, I think she has enamel pins. She might even still have project bags. I know she did back a few years ago when I ordered the shirt. But yeah, really, really cute company to support and still show that you're a crafter without necessarily having to wear a bunch of hot knit items. So that's what I'm wearing today. Nothing super exciting for me to say because I didn't make it. But let's get into what I finished. And that is my Hawthorne tank by Caitlin Hunter of Boylan Knitworks. And I will insert a picture so you can kind of see it a little bit better. But I knit this tank up in Ritual Dye's Undine in the colorway Summer Peach, which is just a really pretty peachy color. Still kind of going through my phase of knitting and things that are similar to this, as you will see shortly. The yarn is a cotton linen blend, so it's really nice and lightweight. It's a good option for when it is warmer weather out. And the only thing stopping me from wearing this today is, guys, I need to find the right bra for this. It's got a really cute square neckline. The straps do sit fairly close to your neck, so it's not necessarily traditional bra friendly if you're somebody who doesn't want to show off bra straps, which is totally understandable. I really need to just find a good strapless bra that is also the right skin tone, because the lace you can kind of see some skin peeking through. So wearing something that's like black or white or a bright color would definitely show through the lace on this. So yeah, I'm on the hunt for that. But the thing that I really love about this top is actually the way that the top fits. Again, not necessarily great for traditional bra straps, but I have broad shoulders and I am not like fussy about that fact. I love the fact that I have broad shoulders. And I find that the cut of the straps makes my shoulders definitely still look broad. There's no hiding that fact, but I don't know. I really like the way that that cut sits on me. I feel like it just kind of makes my shoulders look nice. I don't know. So if you're somebody with broad shoulders and you're maybe feeling like, oh, that's not a cut that would work well on me, you might try it. I'm really like pleasantly surprised at how much I like the way that it works on my body. But that being said, with traditional bra straps that show, again, I'm not like super fussy about that kind of thing. I'm okay if, you can see that I've got a bra on. It doesn't bother me. But I find that that kind of interrupts the way that the top then fits and the way that my shoulders look. So I do like it better without the extra straps. So I'm on the hunt. If you have recommendations for larger size, large bust friendly strapless bras that stay up. That's really the main thing. Send those my way. And if I do find one, I will let you guys know, because like a good man, a good strapless bra, hard to find. But yeah, that is my struggle with the top and why I'm not wearing it today. But it's beautiful. I love the lace paneling. I am not a big all over lace knitter. I find all over lace patterns can be a little bit overwhelming, especially something like this top where um, the pattern repeat is quite long. So you've got a good number of rounds before you repeat the pattern over. So it's not really a pattern that you can memorize unless you're really, really good. um, I just find that to be a little bit overwhelming. I find sometimes I don't read my stitches correctly, and then I have to go back. Um, and that's really hard to do with lace, I think. So I really like this pattern because it's a thin stripe of lace down the front and the back, and then the rest is just stockinette. So if you do make a mistake and you need to go back, you're only ripping back a few stitches and not, a whole round of a top or something like that. So definitely something for people who like a little bit of lace, but maybe don't want a ton of lace. Or maybe if you're newer to lace, I think this would be a really good pattern. It's pretty simple, but it's very effective. It comes out really beautifully. There's also some cabling bordering the lace panel, again, on the front and the back. And I think that that looks great too. I really like it. What else can I say about this pattern? I think I went up a needle size. I'm terrible about remembering needle sizes, but it will be marked on my Ravelry project page if you want to take a look at that. I otherwise did not make any modifications. I just knit it to pattern. And then lengthwise, I always kind of have to adjust length on my tops because, again, I have a short torso, but I am also a larger person. So, sometimes when a pattern says, oh, knit the body to like 8 inches, that works great on somebody who doesn't have quite as much to cover with their fabric as I do. But I feel like this one I ended up being able to knit pretty spot on to pattern, and it came out perfectly. So love, love, love this top. It is blacked, washed, ends are woven in. I do need to snip the ends. There's still kind of some loose little fringe hanging out there, but it's a great summer top, a great summer knit, a fairly quick pattern. Again, I'm like the world's slowest knitter, so take that with a grain of salt, but it was a fairly quick pattern, and I think it would be great for summertime. And it's October in Kansas, so it's not summertime anymore. I never said I was timely. But yeah, that is my only finished object for this week. Let me show you what I've been working on. Got everything kind of piled up next to me, and it's a little bit of a mess. So first things first, I last time showed you guys the Cozy Autumn socks, and I have not touched them since I showed them to you. I still love the pattern and will finish them, but socks are definitely something that I pick up and put down a lot. They're not something that I knit monogamously at all, and like it can take me a couple weeks maybe to finish a pair of socks, up to it can be a couple of years. I don't know. I just kind of knit them when I feel like it. And I don't always feel like knitting socks. That's not always high on my priority list. But all that being said, I did cast on another pair of socks. So, these are the Hermione's Everyday Socks by Erica Luden, I believe is her last name. I will put it on the screen in case I got that wrong. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. I feel like it's a really popular sock pattern. It was the first sock pattern that I ever knit. I've made quite a few pairs. It's a really simple pattern, but it again is really effective, and it comes out with this really lovely texture. So I am knitting these up in the cashmere sock base from Explorer Fiber Arts, Explorer Knits. I can't remember. Guys, worst with names. Again, I will put it on the screen. This is the cashmere sock base in the Grand Canyon National Park's colorway, and it is a gorgeous kind of sunsetty colorway. There's lots of pinks, purples, there's some kind of yellowy golds, there's blues. It's just very, I look at it and I think gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. And that's really my color scheme. If you can find the color in a sunset, I will knit with it. I just dropped my loose DPN there on the floor. I actually used this yarn for color work in a yoke of a top, and had quite a bit left over, so decided to make myself some socks. And I think that it is knitting up really beautifully. Hopefully, when I hold this up, it will focus and you can see. I don't know. I can't see what's going on. But if not, I will insert a picture so you can see the beauty that is this yarn. I am currently decreasing the gusset, so I've done the leg and the heel, and then I'm just working on the foot. And I cast these on because I wanted something that was portable and that I didn't need a pattern. I could just take it with me, throw it in my purse, and have it. I took these to the movies. I knit on them there. They've just kind of been my like little companion. So yeah, that's why I'm working on these instead of my cozy autumn socks, because that pattern has like faux cables and I don't have that pattern memorized. Yeah, so if I want something where I don't have to constantly be looking at a pattern, these are a really good option. Because they're a free pattern, I'm not, shy to tell you that the texture is alternate rows of knit 3 purl 1 and then just stockinette, and the purl stitches are alternated. So it creates this really lovely texture, as you can see. But yeah, I've really been enjoying just having these for when I want something that's super mindless. I don't have to think about it. But yeah, I don't know how much progress we'll make on those or how long they'll take me because I don't knit on socks a whole lot. The other thing that I have been working on is the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie May Designs. This is a pattern that has been on my like to-do list for years at this point. And after sort of the yarn weight debacle that happened with the Salty Days sweater, decided I was going to use the mohair that I had bought for that sweater, which is the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in rose clay, I believe. I could be totally making that up. I should probably just look. I have a labeled ball right next to me. It is rose clay. And I am pairing that with Knitting for Olive merino, and this is in poppy rose. So really cute, and these colors are working really well together to kind of make a more muted fabric. I am still in the yoke. It's a raglan yoke sweater. I'm about halfway through that portion. I will hold this up and hopefully you can kind of see how those colors are playing together. But I'm really enjoying this. Again, it's a really mindless knit because it's just stockinette. It's a very basic raglan stockinette sweater. And that's really what I needed. The last 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy. So I've been kind of wanting something that I don't have to think too much about, which is why I opted to cast this on instead of the Salty Days, which has all kinds of texture and stuff on it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really excited to have it. It'll be kind of a lighter weight, fluffy, warm sweater. And again, it's kind of falling into that peachy pink vibe that we were getting with the Hawthorne tank in the summer peach colorway. So yeah, I'm really, like I said, enjoying this. I am knitting this on a size US 8 needle, which is, if I can see it, which I can't because I'm blind and it's tiny, a 5mm. That is up I believe, a 0.5mm. The pattern calls for a size 7, US 7 needle. But again, I'm a tight knitter, so I have to kind of go up. But I am hitting gauge pretty spot on, having gone up. So I'm excited to keep working on this. It's really, like I said, pretty basic. It's going by pretty quickly. And I'm just happy to use up some yarn that I've had laying around and wasn't sure what I was going to do with it after, not not looking at the pattern for the Salty Days very closely. So yeah, that is all I'm working on at the moment. I have a project that I think is destined for the frog pond. And I think I'm going to do a video because I've got a couple of things that I think are going to end up getting frogged, and we'll talk about that stuff more in depth. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about future plans. So one of the things that is still really high up on my list, and I think is going to get cast on here pretty soon, is a traveler shawl from Andrea Mowry in my hand spun. I talked all about this in the last video. It's also all over my Instagram. But this is something that I do want to knit here fairly soon. But I'm also kind of struggling to decide what else I want to cast on. I have really bad cast-on-itis. I want to just knit all of the things, and I'm allowing myself that within reason. I don't want to cast on everything because then I will have decision fatigue when it comes time to knit and I won't knit anything. But I'm kind of like, do I want things that are really mindless right now? Do I want to have some mindless stuff and then some things that I really kind of need to focus in on? Do I want to be knitting with similar yarns? I don't know. So you guys kind of tell me your thoughts. I'll kind of show you guys the rest of my options. Let me know. Let me know what feels the most inspiring to you right now. But we're going to circle back to the Salty Days sweater again, by Veronica Lindberg, which is a super fun pattern. It's very textured. It's got a few different kind of texture motifs throughout the sweater. It's definitely a pattern that's having a moment. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people knitting it, and I do really like, I just really like the texture. I think it would be really fun to knit. It's a worsted weight sweater, so it's something that should work up relatively quickly. And last time I had showed you guys the mohair that I just showed you, the rose clay mohair, and Sandnes Garn Sunday in a gray colorway that I still don't know the name of. And I was planning to use that to make the Salty Days sweater. Turns out I was using the wrong yarn weight. I was using a fingering and a lace weight, which works up to about a DK weight, and I needed a worsted weight. And there was just no way that I was going to get gauge in a way that would work for that sweater. It would have just been too loose, would have lost a lot of the definition in the sweater. So I went stash diving and I found this yarn. This is by Good Karma. I don't believe that this base has like a base name. It's just their worsted weight. It is 60% wool, 40% alpaca, and it's in the color Texas Green. I will hold it up so that you can hopefully see it. It's a tonal dark green, and I just think it's gorgeous. I actually purchased this yarn at Rhinebeck last year. This is the very first time I ever went to Rhinebeck. I'm not going this year, unfortunately, but hopefully I will be able to make it in 2025. Fingers crossed. But I bought a good amount of this yarn, and my intention had been to make a honey moss shawl by Andrea Mowry. And that's still something that I do want to make, but it's not necessarily really high on my like priority list right now. And so I thought, you know what, I'll repurpose this yarn and make something that I really, really want to make. And I think that this green color will be gorgeous in the Salty Days sweater. So I do have this. That's another option. So we've got Traveler Shawl, which is knitted my hand spun, which is really exciting. It'll be my first hand spun project. But also it seems like a pretty, I don't, I say mindless and I feel like maybe that sounds kind of negative, but a fairly simple repetitive pattern that's really kind of meditative to work on. You don't have to focus a lot. It's something that's easy to, work on while you're maybe watching something or listening to an audiobook or something like that. Whereas the Salty Days sweater has a little bit more to the pattern, so I have to like focus in. So we've got a little bit more mindless, knit and hand spun. We've got a little bit more focus required, knit in this gorgeous green yarn. And then the third option came out of left field. This one really kind of shocked me. I think I was just browsing on Ravelry. I don't remember if it was Ravelry or if maybe I stumbled upon it on Instagram. But the Anita sweater, and I am going to look at this name because I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong and I'm so sorry. Anita sweater by Alexandra Solovyanuk. I really think that I probably got that completely wrong. I have a name that people get wrong all the time, and I hate getting other people's names wrong. And I tried to look up how to pronounce it and failed. Didn't find a great answer. Anyway, the Anita sweater is absolutely gorgeous. This sweater is really kind of feminine. It's got some lace work to it. It's knit up with a strand of mohair, so it adds that kind of fluffy feminine vibe to it. And I went stash diving again, and have yarn that I think will be perfect. So this is Less Traveled yarn. The colorway is Merlot. I have the 757 sock, which is a 75% merino, 25% nylon base. And then I also have the kid mohair, which is a mohair silk base. I bought this yarn quite a while ago. I mean, it's been a few years. And my intention had actually been to knit the Cozy Classic Raglan with this yarn, which I still think would be beautiful, and I wouldn't be opposed to that. But after kind of reallocating some yarn for the Salty Days and then choosing to use the mohair for the Cozy Classic Raglan that I'm working on now, I was like, you know what? We're going to reallocate this yarn too. Everybody's getting a new job for the Anita sweater. And I am so excited. I think that it's a gorgeous pattern. I think that this colorway will complement the details in that sweater really well. And I'm just really excited. I'm really, really excited about that sweater. The only thing that is keeping me from casting it on right now is I don't know if I want to be working on two sweaters with mohair at the same time. I don't mind mohair. I'm not a mohair hater. Um, but I do find that it can get a little warm on the hands, especially when it's still a little bit warm out. So I'm not sure if I want to be doing the Cozy Classic Raglan and the Anita sweater at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. But it's also beautiful, and I kind of need it in my wardrobe. So I don't know what the answer is. So hopefully you guys can kind of tell me, hey, like, if I were in your shoes, this is what I would do. Or, I think that this yarn is most inspiring right now. Or, just let me know. Let me know what you would be most interested to see. All of those projects are going to happen fairly soon. I mean, that is kind of really what I'm wanting to knit on, along with the Cozy Classic Raglan. So I'm hoping that I will cast on at least one of those other projects before I record again in about 2 weeks. But yeah, that's really it. That's what I've been inspired by. That's what I've been working on. It's what I finished. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me a little bit. As I mentioned in the last episode, will be uploading these podcast episodes every 2 weeks. hopefully on Sundays, hopefully that will work out. I had recorded and had everything ready to go for this Sunday and went back, and my video was just yellow. I don't know what happened somewhere in processing. I don't know. The whole thing was yellow, and I was like, we got to redo it. So hopefully this one works out. Hopefully the quality is okay. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. But again, because I'm so new to this, if you have any thoughts about how I can make this podcast a little bit better, a little bit higher quality, let me know. I'm always open to suggestion. Please come connect with me on Instagram at RoseGlassKnits. I post about my projects, I post about my spinning. Um, I love looking at what other people are working on too, and would love to connect with you. You can also find me on Ravelry at RoseGlassKnits if you ever have questions about anything I've done with my knitting. Usually I'm pretty good about putting stuff in the notes if I've done anything different or exciting. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you have a great week. I will see you back here in a little less than 2 weeks. All things working out the way they should. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you later.